I moved into here in '98, and where I lived was a pretty much no-go area. Police wouldn't come down there, your local taxis wouldn't drop off down there, even your local newspapers wasn't delivered down here. That's how bad the area was. I had a young daughter and I was obviously upset about the area I lived. Before Big Local come along, I'd absolutely done nothing. Big Local come along and turned and said, we can do this, we can do that, how would you like to improve your area? So I went along to a Big Local meeting, went and expressed my views, didn't know nothing about Big Local, and then realised it was a 10-year project to give £1 million to help local residents make the area a better place. We started off by doing a street party. I went round knocking on all the various doors and got each resident that moved in to actually cook a dish from where they come from, and said, just bring it out, I'll give you the money, Big Local are funding this, make a dish, it ain't going to cost you nothing. And it actually got people actually coming out, how do you do, I'm such and such. I'm sorry, I've seen you loads of times but I've never talked to you before. Well, now you've met me, lovely to meet you, you know, and people do, the antisocial behaviours stop now. We created a park, again, that we got funded through Big Local. Again, these are kind of projects, when we started doing them, the residents turned around and said, well, nothing's ever going to happen down here. You won't get a park because we're the forgotten area. No one gives two monkeys about it. I got all of the residents out and we pulled out 34 tonnes of rubbish and built a garden area. And it kind of transformed the area. Again, it started making people think, well, maybe we're not forgotten, we are loved. Through Big Local, I met Carl Adams, who was the Big Local rep. We said, no, would you like to do something in your community? So we set up something which was basically guerrilla gardening. So I went to community payback and got loads of lads to come along, and we was putting high vises on and just started doing gardening projects. And it was a case of like people coming along to us, oh, it's about time the council did something, you know, improved our area. No, we're not council, we're all volunteers, we're just doing something naughty but in a positive way. We commandeered the space where we are now, which was a car park, but it was overgrown. So we totally cleared this area. We made little raised beds in the garden and started growing fruit and vegetables, which we then obviously give out to the community. We created a pizza oven, so anything we grow here, we'll make pizza dough, roll it out. You can pick anything that's growing in the garden, and then we'll sort of like, you know, we'll cook it, all free of charge, but just getting the people to come into the garden. We bring down CAB, we bring down Big Local reps, we bring down EDC, NHS, quit smoking, food banks and stuff like that. So people just come into the garden, one, get to meet the neighbours, get to sort of like find out what we're doing, but obviously again create a signposting event where we can signpost them on from there. So from that we actually decided that we was going to come and do a bit of land at the top called the Enchanted Garden. And we totally cleared the garden. We worked with absolutely everybody and local residents to try and give it a bit of ownership. We built a decking area, we built a wildlife pond, we built a meadow bank, we redid all the stage that was there and planted all around the edges with fruit and vegetables. That garden's actually open 24/7, so when we had the COVID, an awful lot of people who didn't have their own private gardens were coming down to use this garden, and you know, it's carried on ever since. I mean, I was just a normal resident, I wouldn't have known where to go to, how to sort of like advance things. Again now, I mean, in the garden here today, we've got scarecrows, so residents have been coming down making scarecrows, they're coming down to pick up a pumpkin, but again it's an opportunity for people to come in, see what we're doing, but also learn more about, you know, what opportunities there are in the community. I mean, it's just not about the gardening. We've got a CV writing, job clubs. There's grants for opportunities. There's funds, you know, if you're struggling with your food bills. There's funds to get, you know, food from the food banks. There's all of these things come through the actual creation of Nortfleet Big Local. I couldn't have never believed that I was organising street parties and stuff like that, and you know, talking to residents and trying to help them through Big Local, you know, telling them what was going on. And I was talking to local councillors, and because of that it was quite easy for me to sort of like turn around and say, yes, we can do this. And then our local councillor at the time, he came to me and turned around and said, you know, why don't you become a councillor? I'm standing down, I'm going to run for an MP. The reason I'm asking you to become involved is because you come to me or your KCC councillor with all your issues that are not to do with you, it's to do with your local residents. So wouldn't it be better to be able to cut out the middleman and you go direct to the council or to KCC and get the things that you want? Now from a councillor I become deputy mayor and then mayor. We used to be the rich town, so we used to have the cement works, the paper mills, and Nortfleet was his own town. So we had Nortfleet with his own council and then Gratian. When they merged, yes, Nortfleet was forgotten. You know, now if we go to the council, we can raise issues. We've got 4 new parks in the area. They're going around repainting the houses. You know, there's fly tipping, it's getting taken away. Through Big Local and through becoming a councillor, I'm now on the EDC Community Board. I'm a director of the EDC Community Trust. If you are passionate about your community and you want to help people in your community and just make your community a much better place to live, then yes, get involved.